Welcome back to the back nine coverage of round two for the 2022 Three Rivers Open. I'm Kevin Fodrey, joined by Aidian Hosler. This tournament is presented by the Fort Disc Golf Club, Michiana Pro Shop, and BF Goodrich. Thanks for tuning back in. If you just watched the front 10, there was some great action going on. We got Brad Schick, Tyler Horne, Trevon Crowe, and Woody Haas all shredding the course. Everybody playing under par and playing good. Couple of missed opportunities for everybody, but some extra bonus birdies snuck in there. They played great through the front 10, which is the harder of the holes. So now we got the back nine. I'd imagine we see some people really light it up.
We're going to start with hole 11, par 3, 295 feet up this tunnel. At the end of it, that's our short tee, or our short pin, excuse me. You're going to see a lot of flip up backhands with a mid-range, or even the forehand turnover flex play is common as well. We'll probably see Brad do that.
Yeah, Tyler's definitely going to be throwing a backhand, but I would. This hole is a forehand flex shot. I mean, it's set up for that. That's how it was designed. But it's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to get there if you can't throw that shot. You can get up there into circle two, I feel like relatively easily on a backhand, but to get inside circle or parked, you almost got to throw a forehand.
There's that right to left working forehand.
Yeah, and that was
wow.
Oh, and a great tree at the end. If you go long in there, you can get. I mean, that's jail back there. So you ace run it and go long. It's dangerous. Reset there from Trevon. That one's good. A little inside? Yeah, just a little inside. There's that circle two putt. It's a tight tunnel. I mean, you got to throw a good shot here. You can't really get too lucky on this hole. I mean, you really kind of have to hit the fairway.
Got good height, but
man. Apparently you can get unlucky though. That little tiny twig sticking out in the middle just robbed Woody of what looked to be an amazing tee shot. And that's early and obstructed. Woody's not going to be happy with getting a par on that after what he felt like was a really good tee shot. It's hard. You can't see it from the tee pad, so you throw a shot, you think it's really good, and all you can do is just listen.
And where Trevon's at is a pretty common spot.
Yeah. That's where the short pad's at, so, he's got probably about a 45, 50-foot putt.
Tyler's got a better look than thought.
Yeah, I thought he was way deeper in the bush, and the way he's putting, I'd almost say this is going in for sure. Yep, look at that. Tyler, the way Tyler's putting, I'm not even remotely nervous to talk about his putt going in before he putts, because it just seems to be going in. Trevon's able to clean up that par.
And Brad's going to take another stroke on the card that's going to give him solo first place at 17 under on the weekend.
Yeah, which is crazy good. 7 down through 11 here is, that's scorcher territory. You're getting into a really hot round, especially with some of the easier holes coming up. Oof.
Especially this one, hole 12, par 4, 686 feet. You saw on the right side of hole 10, that orange line of OB on the right the whole way. You're going to have your shot land about here-ish, and then you're going to need to throw an approach shot over these or even through these trees to the basket, with the road being OB deep.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward hole. The only trouble really is the OB left and right, and then your approach shot always has to go up in the air. So the wind really affects this hole, because if you get the flight place exposed to the wind, they can just shove it down.
Normally you're going to be feeling a bit of a tailwind on this hole. Headwind on hole 10, tailwind on hole 12. You're going to see your bombers really start to let loose here. One of the very few opportunities at Tillman you get to actually go full go on a tee shot.
Yeah. Yeah, especially from the blue. I mean, as long as you know it's stable, you can pretty much just throw it as hard as you want on the shot. It's a great rip from Tyler. Oh yeah, and that white flag is 200 feet to the pin. Inside of that, that's a pretty good shot.
Trevon puts a move on this one too.
Yeah, that's a great shot for Trevon too. It's gonna be a little short of that. Probably a good 270 out. Oh, that's gonna be burned. Yep. Just a little ways in front of the red tee still.
It's hard to commit to the forehand off the tee with this road to the left and the OB right, but
Yeah, that's. I think that's what he wished he threw off the tee pad right there, because it's going to get him way up there. That was a much stronger forehand, a little height.
he's gonna have a little look for bird there from deep circle 2 as well.
Yeah, hard to get a birdie look when you throw a bad shot at the tee, just because you're going to leave yourself a lot of distance, and then it's got to finish high because it's got to get over these trees at the end.
Brad asking for that one to sit because it's heading towards that road.
It looked like it did. There is OB behind the basket. It doesn't come into play super often, but if you pull a shot, it can definitely float over there.
Looks like Trevon's got a slab of beef there, throwing over the
Oh yeah,
trees.
look at that. Little fireball action. Here comes a zone from Tyler. He's so close he can just throw the nice little zone shot over the trees. That's gonna be good. I think we can get through it. Yeah, that's just fine. Circle 1.
This is where Brad ends
This
up
is
here.
tough. Oof, that's a tough putt. I mean, you got probably a good 50 feet with low ceiling right there, right off your hand. So not easy. Same here with Woody. Also low ceiling. He's low.
A little meat on the bone left here for par. No problem.
Yep, no problem. Knocks you down. That one will feel good. That was a good 25 feet.
Tyler can't take one on Brad here.
I mean, yeah, that's, you hate to see it on a 20-footer, but that's the first blemish he's had putting.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's going to be bummed about it, but also at the same time, you got to look at his round and think, hey, man, your putter's still pretty good.
Trevon's got an opportunity here to start crawling back, try and fight back to get to these leaders here, and Brad will tap his par out.
Yeah, not the hole that our card wanted to see, but, it's, like I said, it's kind of tricky with those trees. Those upshots get sneaky hard. We're going to jump into hole 13, par 4, 445 feet. Of all the par 4s, it's the most must birdie. As long as you stay in bounds, you're probably going to birdie it. But it's tricky. Sometimes you can leak OB. There's OB long, left, right. So you got to just play a nice, safe forehand. 300 over these trees into the landing zone, then throw a nice upshot, or you can get aggressive and go for that eagle shot with a big backhand turnover. I mean, I've seen it done. It's just quite a few times. It's just a risky shot, and I don't think we'll see it from any of our competitors today, but it's there.
See this path on the right side of the screen that flows down all the way through the green. That is OB. And then the road as well, deep and then left.
Yeah, it's as close as 12 feet from the basket down in the green. So yeah,
it's inbounds, Brad, just barely. He's gonna have a wide open up shot.
Yeah, you can't see once you go around this corner. You really can't see. So even on those eagle shots, when you throw the big backhand Hyzer, you can't tell until you get up there where it finished, because once it gets around this corner, it's just guessing.
Tyler threw that trusty buzz. Not sure if it poked through there or not.
There's no wind out there. This match
They're calling it out. Threw his buzz again. It's a little bit longer than you think it is, so sometimes just down to that mid and just don't get the mustard to get it there.
Woody going big and wide here.
It's gonna be great. Yep.
Pretty sure that short pin over there is about 285 off the tee, so not a big shot off the tee. And here's Tyler after going OB.
Yeah,
He
never comes back in, so you got to throw it around this corner.
Wow.
Which, I mean, oh my gosh, incredible shot. Yeah, so hard to par once you go, if you don't make it around that corner OB. I mean, yeah, you're throwing blind 300 feet. That's a hard shot.
And you can see how close this path gets to the basket up there. Brad just gonna throw a putter up shot.
Trevor's way down here, just getting the luxury of just running it a little bit. Parks it. Tyler with like a 20-footer to save the par, which is just great after going OB.
Yeah, circle 4 is a pretty odd score to get on this hole, but Tyler with a confident putt.
What a great save. That is just such a hard shot to do. Tyler's had a few, I mean, hole 3, if you watch the front 10, I mean, he had an incredible save on that hole. And then now this one, yeah, his scramble game has been there.
Brad moves to 8 down through 13 holes. He's
officially hot.
Yeah.
Officially hot.
Yeah.
So now it's just how hot. How hot's it gonna be?
A couple birdies on hole 13. Moving to hole 14, par 3, 298 feet over this gross pond we got here. Gonna have an OB line at the bottom of that hill, and then you're gonna see some backhand turnovers and some maybe flex forehands.
I want them to think we're
I'll
playing
keep the
bad.
heat on them when they hear this disc smash in the chin.
There you go.
We'll be ready.
Probably gonna see a few forehands, and then I'd imagine Tyler Horne will be going with the backhand. But one of the more tough 2s on the course to get. One of the tougher birdies, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a sneaky hard hole. That's
Great shot.
oh man, if only they were playing it in the par 4 pin, that would be perfect.
That would be great.
I mean, almost be parked on the middle pin.
Trevon's gonna have a long look for birdie there.
Up.
That was pretty awesome.
Brad not too pleased with that one.
I
That
think
rough over
I
there
think
is
he
pretty
stayed in
rough.
bounds. They did paint a line, so it was a little further up this year, but I'm not sure if that stayed in. That's also early too. And I mean, you go early. You're just hoping you can scramble up there for your par. You're not birdieing.
It's hard to contest that left side with the forehand up there because all you see is tree kick after tree kick with that left side. It's so hard to hug it and get the right amount of power on this shot. Tyler going with that buzz again.
This is the shot I like. Every time I step up here, I throw a buzz because it's a perfect shot, Schick. Right? Flip it up a little bit, and it goes right through the gap. It usually slows down the right speed. You're not going too fast. You're not going to get that flare like you saw Trevon get. I think the mid range is the play if you have the arm for it.
Brad with a scramble shot. Wow.
Yeah, great shot. Woody's in here even a little deeper.
There is airspace when you look up, but
Little 25-foot putt uphill.
yeah, this is what Trevon's got.
Yeah, Trevon's probably like, man, how did it get out here? This is got a monster skip on it.
Big putt.
Oh man, that would have been one you'd like to see go in.
Woody to save par. Good tree.
Yeah, good tree. Stopped it. Just a little high. Tough putting uphill.
Tyler's gonna get one back. Brings it within 1 to Brad.
Yeah, and that's a great birdie from Tyler for sure. Moving into hole 15, par 3, 363 feet. One of just the best disc golf holes in the state, in my opinion. It's just a pure backhand Hyzer flip, dead straight through a tunnel, OB in the middle of the hole. I mean, it's a great hole. You could give me 18 holes of this, and I'd play it all the time.
Yeah, speaking of hard birdies, this one is a tough one for sure.
Yeah, if you've got the straight shot, it's definitely gettable. But it just requires you to be able to keep your disc really straight, which is, as we know, one of the hardest things to do in disc golf. There's that buzz again from Tyler. It's going to be out there in circle 2. Probably have to putt over that little cement block. MVP, I'd imagine. Trevon's probably throwing an insanity here. Yeah. Keep flipping. Oh, that's great. Keep going. Yeah, that's going to be similar to where Tyler was at. They're just going to have little circle's edge putts.
Yeah, Brad.
Wow.
And just an absolutely great forehand.
Oh,
Oh yeah, and a little love there. Yeah, the shot is obviously the initial gap is very easy to hit on the forehand, but it's tough to get up to the pin on the forehand. You've got to really have that Hyzer flip dialed, and that's
That left side is
maybe in the
very
creek.
rough.
Yeah, that's tough.
One of my buddies. I've only got one. And it's not flipping.
one of my buddies threw a whole bunch.
Oh man, that was not the kick he wanted. He stayed out of the water though, so he's playing a little bit of army golf here, hoping he can get up and down and just stop the bleeding.
Oh,
That's a good shot. That'll be a good shot from Woody. Not happy to take the bogey, but could have been worse.
Trevon's got a
Stay out of
chance
the
here
water.
to keep himself in the mix.
Trevon, you've got to snap the putt, bro.
Trevon's not happy with that putt. It's a tricky putt. I mean, he's probably just outside circle. Man, Tyler. Hate to see good opportunities miss, but these guys, these are not easy putts. I mean, these are circle's edge putts, testy in any situation, let alone on a lead card at an A tier. So.
When you think of Tillman Park, you think a lot about hitting gaps, hitting fairways, staying clean, but putting is just as important out here, and converting in the circle, outside the circle is huge. As we come to hole 16, par 3, 195 feet, the shortest hole we're playing on the course today. You got a gap right off the tee, and then another gap up this hill. Bucket's going to be right here with a little slope behind it, and
yeah, it's a straightforward birdie. I mean,
Lots of trees.
if you can forehand an approach putter, you're gonna birdie this probably. Here comes the zone from Brad, and it's parked. This is definitely a hole that I would imagine is hard for Tyler because he does not throw forehands. So disadvantage for him for sure here, but. Even if you don't have a great forehand, if you even have a serviceable one, you'll probably be able to make something happen here. Yep,
and look at that.
just fine. And look at that, it's parked. It's definitely a hole where if you miss it, you're upset. You've just played a bunch of technical woods shots where you gotta pick landing spots or things like that, and you're coming into this and you're just thinking, hey, here's a birdie I can get. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. And everyone's throwing good shots.
Playing is the easiest hole in the day, over half a stroke under par. Gonna want to convert on this one for sure.
Oh man, that's early. I mean, hit the gap just a little soft. You can get nervous about that hill back there too if you go in a little too fast.
Woody's gonna show us the potentially difficult approach shots that can happen if you
if you miss that initial gap, it kind of becomes a tough par because you got to throw a tricky upshot, and leaves him out at 30, 35. I mean, that's gonna be 30 feet probably. Yeah.
This is not the putt you want for par on this hole, but no
He
problem
hits it
for
though.
Woody.
It was a great par save. Yeah, he's not thrilled. I think a combined distance of about 12 feet from the rest of the card for all their putts. Yeah, it's definitely one you want to get. You kind of have to throw a slower disc. I've seen some people where they try to disc up for the stability to make sure they hit that gap and throw a fairway driver or even a mid sometimes. And that ground's fast. If you're throwing something that's going to skip, you can get down to the bottom of that hill back there and make a really easy hole really hard.
3 birdies and a par going to hole 17, par 4, 352 feet. There's going to be a Mando up this first gap that you have to go right of. Getting around this corner, you'll just have another straight shot to the pin. A pretty short and straightforward par 4, but definitely a 2-shot hole.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, if you want a birdie on this, all you got to do is throw 2 straight putter shots. It seems really easy. Is it that easy, Aiden? No, it's not. Sometimes this hole can be very tricky. It's tempting to try to cut the corner a little bit and get a little bit more distance on for that second shot to make it easier. But in all reality, you really just need to throw 1 straight shot with a good speed control like that, and then another stock putter shot to the basket. It should be a birdie for most players, and for some reason it's just not. This gap is tight. Is a Mando, gets in your head. Second shot's a little tight. It's a tricky hole.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that's perfect. Look at that.
Woody going with a rare backhand here.
Ooh, that's gonna be early and in the woods.
I think he got past the Mando though. So
Yeah, you got past the Mando. They do have the new Mando rolling effect, so if it kicks backwards behind the Mando, you can still take a stroke. But it looks like he is still in front of the tree right there, so he should be just fine. Just flick a little putter out there. There's not much you can do from back there. And that'll be, it's probably 25 feet for first par. Not a bad scramble.
You can see this right rough here that if you throw your tee shot a little too hard off the tee, it is easy to go straight and into that, and that does make approach shots very tricky on this hole, but these guys are making them work.
Get closer.
And this is the easier of the pin placements on the hole. There is a pin placement up there to the right on the hill, which is pretty tough, but it's still it makes you play smart, clean golf, which I think is really all you do at Tillman, and it's just sometimes it just gets hard to do for 19 holes straight.
Do it.
Tyler's trying to run one in there. He's had a couple of close calls, almost threw in a few times.
Woody with a
great
great
par save from Woody. Definitely a tough spot off the tee. Kind of left himself wanting a little more on the second shot, and then capitalized on the putt there.
Woody's not going to be too happy with his 3-down score, but with all these par putts he's been making, it could have been a lot worse. So
yeah, definitely some bad breaks and just some close calls on putts, but still not a bad round. Probably feels bad playing with a 10, a 9, and a 9, but it's not. Yeah, and Schick, that's going to move him to 11, which, remember, we said 8 was hot. Guess what 11 is? Very hot.
Yeah.
We're going to move into hole 18, par 4, 430 feet. You'll notice a lot of the par 4s are not that long, but, man, they are tight, and the rough is rough. So we're going to be coming up here and going to the right. It's going to be a forehand Hyzer or a backhand turnover shot if you want to get up there. You can eagle it, but again, the Mando off the tee right there to the right, you got to bring some trouble into play if you're going to go for the big shot. So I'd imagine we just see a lot of birdie attempts here, and that's a good shot from Brad, but he's going to be pretty pinched on that right side, so that'll make that shot the next shot a little tough. This is the play I like to see. The big backhand turnover keeps you, usually if you're throwing a stable enough disc, you're going to get back out to the left, have a straighter look into the pin, and you can really get down there for the eagle opportunity if you want. It's going to be down there. It's just fine. Caught some trees at the end, but little luck involved at the end there of how tight the fairway gets.
This is another hole at Tillman where if you can push your disc to the right height, there is more airspace up high than there is down low. You see guys with the forehand like to push it up that left and high side. Not that left.
That was good.
Oh, Trevon.
Now
He's going to want that one back.
Trevon could have an opportunity if he's past that Mando tree to go over that entire rough on the right with like a backhand, but
You know, with none of these guys being locals, I wonder if they know it. Almost hit the cameraman again. Woody's trying to take his head off. Yeah, see, so he doesn't. So actually, right now, if somebody were there to tell him, you can go backhand Hyzer over that rough over there,
it is risky.
and it's a relatively easy shot, a lot easier than throwing the fairway from that position. So, kind of a bummer for Trevon there. This is just what we call chip out territory. Tillman's got a few areas where the rough's so thick, you just gotta take your medicine.
It's like he's going for a little roller here. A little cut roller.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a pretty easy up. He might have a little bit of a look at it, but it's going to be from probably 50 feet.
Woody's got a forehand Hyzer that just.
That's still going to leave him out. I mean, he's probably going to have another 50-foot putt obstructed. The thing about this basket is it's got a little bit of a hill slant on the left end backside, and the water behind it doesn't really come into play, but you can get a really bad roll and just have a terribly hard putt on something you thought was going to be really easy.
Brad just made a very good shot from where he was at.
That was Tyler's drive, so he was putting for eagle from about 65, 70 feet.
Trevon's gonna have.
Yeah, that's good. You can hear him say stop because that hill back there, it gets quick, fast, and there's a lot of low branches, and the putt just gets very hard.
Woody for bird.
Off the basket.
Not too much.
Yeah,
left,
he'll have a
but-
15-footer.
Oh,
Brad will miss that one. Man, it's honestly crazy how good his score is, because I feel like from what I've seen him play, it's not even the best he could have played. Tyler will clean up this nice birdie here.
and Tyler and Brad have really kept the pace with each other this round, shooting
Chaos around. Calm and collected.
two more
Almost
great
forgot you were playing the
rounds.
hole.
Heading into hole 19, the last hole, par 4, 550 feet. Going to be another forehand or backhand turnover out to about here, ideally, and then there's going to be an open shot heading up to the basket. Going to have some wind out here that you definitely can't feel in the woods. That's going to make getting the angle right pretty challenging, but
Yeah, it's tough. The second shot's hard here because you feel almost no wind back here in these thick woods, and then you throw, and unless you throw a perfect drive, you're still in the woods, and you don't really feel it, and then you've got to throw into usually a pretty wild wind, wide open with OB on the left side. So it's a tough hole.
And this is a common result on this hole, pushing that forehand just a little too straight, and that rough up there is...
You got nothing in there.
Yeah.
Nice, Brad. Yeah, perfect.
Brad is in perfect position.
Yeah,
birdie.
and that's about as good as you could ever ask for off the tee. I mean, anything after that, you're just getting greedy.
This looks great.
Oh,
And
just a little in the woods.
it's very frustrating throwing a great shot and still just being on the edge of that rough because you don't really have a run up, and it makes that 380-ish foot shot a lot harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, and that's
And another straight skip, and look at that.
Yep, 3 out of 4 into the bush.
I think it pushed to the back
It's
edge.
tough, yeah. You hear Trevon mentioning it, but you really want to throw a slower disc because you don't want to push straight, but it's tough to get that slower disc that's still going to have the fight to get around the corner because you don't want to go straight. Man, Tyler's looking at, almost nothing from in there, I'm sure. What a great shot.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a putt. That's unreal.
Right.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Trevon chopping on this.
Oh, man. Wow, what a great shot. Man, those are two incredible shots from the rough.
Spot. Another one, dude. The spot. Perfect. You guys are great. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Those are three of probably the best scramble shots I've seen from that rough side ever.
Brad's got an easy Hyzer.
And he parks it, yeah.
If you saw these approach shots, you'd think they were all right in the middle of the fairway. Exactly
Yeah.
where they would want to be, but...
Man, I can't believe Tyler has this putt right now. That spot he was in was terrible.
I've never seen any approach shot from there this close.
Oh my gosh. If he would have birdied that, I would have said he probably would have been the first birdie ever from inside that bush. I mean, probably would. That's insane. I mean, even taking a par. I would take a par from in there. Yeah.
Because normally you have to pitch out and then make that same approach shot that, say, Brad had, and it's just a little harder when you're throwing it with your third instead of your second.
Trevon just making a little extra sure on the last putt of the round.
Trevon with a good 9 under round. He
Yeah,
left
9
a few
under.
out there,
That's
but
great. Yeah, I mean, we saw some phenomenal golf. I mean, a 12, from Brad is just, I mean, that's insane. Yeah, that's an insane round. So, and a 10 from Tyler. I mean, that's a great round too. Brad obviously just playing some super clean golf. Crazy to think if he would have hit those two circle ones he missed. I mean, he would have been sitting at 14 under par on the round. Just absolutely mind-blowing. So, terrific golf from everybody. Thanks for joining us, guys. That was the final conclusion of round 2. We've got one more round of action left. It's going to be the Chase Brad Schick show. He's got 2 strokes on second place. Tyler Horne and Trevon Crowe. And look at that. A 10 down from Eddie Ward's going to bump him right up to the lead card. We knew he was playing good, and it looks like it's paying off. So join us back for round 3. We'll have your coverage here, and thanks for joining us for the 2022 Three Rivers Open round 2 coverage.